Alright, it's your boy back again with another blackout video. And we'll talk about the Pels' final preseason game against the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm gonna do it today. I told you. You know, I like being right. I ain't even go front. I like being right. So, our boy Lonzo was out there putting on a show. He's getting buckets, showing his offensive versatility, the stuff that he worked on this offseason. It all came together in a very good performance. He got 19 points on 7 of 11 shooting. 3 of 6 shooting from 3, which means he made all of his twos, and I'm going to get into that. And he had 2 of 3 shooting from free throw. Also had 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and I think he had like a steal and a block too. Zion put up 31 points, 9 rebounds, and I think like 4 or 5 assists. He took 22 shots. He was like 12 or 22 from the field. And, you know, Zion was doing Zion-like things. Boy B.I., he didn't have too good of a performance today. He only took 10 shots. He only made 2. He got to the free throw line a couple times, though. But he was in foul trouble most of the game. He even fouled out, so he didn't play but like 20-something minutes. And even then, he didn't get the touches he normally would. And his touches weren't going in anyway. And I'm not going to get into too much of the stats for most of the other members of the Pels. I'm just going over the big three for right now. JJ had 18 points. He was killing it. Yada, yada, yada. But boy. Like, y'all not gonna like me this season. Y'all not gonna like me. I told you guys, when people were complaining about Lonzo and the three-point shooting, practicing this year, and him working on mid-range jumpers and stuff, I told people, I was like, look, Lonzo gonna have to be able to score at all 3 levels. All 3 levels. And I knew that teams were going to give him the mid-range all season. People were all upset that he was working on those things. And I'm sitting here watching the game, and all of his shots are mid-ranges. He's like, all his field goal shots are mid-ranges. And it's like, you get the pick and roll, and then he's getting separation between Zion's pick and Steven Adams' picks. And he doesn't even attack the basket. He just, oh, you're going to drop coverage? Oh, okay, Brook Lopez. Here, mid-range. Cash. And that's all he did. And people were sitting there like, damn, he looks good. You know. And I'm sitting there telling y'all like, oh, no. I told you guys this. See, a lot of y'all don't understand the mentality of the game, the X's and O's parts. But I do. And I ain't gonna say I understand it like a pro, but you gotta look at and understand the situation. Lonzo last year, playing the game, he understood, okay, when I go into these pick and roll coverages, they just gonna sag off on me and guard the big and try to take away the pass lane and dare me to attack. So what do I have to do? What can I do? Okay, take a couple steps, mid-range pull-up. Easy. That shot's going to be there all season. All season. And Lonzo understood that, and Clutch Sports understood that. So it's like, hey, yo, look, we're going to get you your bag, but you got to put in work. And you're going to have to be able to, you're going to have to hit your threes still, but to be complete player, you need to be able to hit those mid-ranges when they give it to you, and you need to be able to finish at the rim. Now, game one was all about him aggressively attacking the rim, right? But game two, preseason game two, was about his mid-range. And I'm telling y'all this right now. He won't shoot 100% from mid-range this season, but that shot is going to be there, and at least for a little bit. The defenses are gonna wait to take that away. They're gonna try to play him tight, and when they start trying to play him tight, it's going to be game over, because now you're giving him passing spaces for Zion and Steven Adams. Like, they're going to eat. If you're in pick and roll coverage with Lonzo this year, he's hitting mid-ranges and attacking the rack, you're going to love it, because you're going to eat. You're going to get free baskets. You know, it's the nature of the beast. And I put this on Twitter. I was like, look, as long as he's aggressive and he's attacking, because here's what's going to happen. Especially a coach like Pop, who's going to make in-game adjustments. They're going to be like, look, don't let him get that mid-range shot. They're going to tell them to fight over the screens. And so that means if they're telling Zion, when Zion's sitting to pick for them to fight over the screen, Zion is going to get ahead of steam to the basket. You think Lonzo ain't going to make that pass? No, he's going to hit him every time. Okay, now they're going to have to double Zion. So what's that's going to lead to? Okay, now they're not going to be fighting over screens. What they're going to do is they're going to try to play him at the hip. They're going to play Lonzo at his hip, but they're going to leave Zion open, or they're going to have the big come and get on Zion. So what's Lonzo going to do? Full speed ahead, attack the basket, get the free layup. That's gonna be the rock paper scissors game. And y'all think Lonzo IQ wise ain't gonna be able to pick his poisons? Like, he's gonna know. Okay, I put it like this. He even said it in his interview, his post game interview. He was like, I'm just gonna take what the defense gives me. And I told you guys this when y'all, not necessarily you guys that follow me, but when people were sitting there complaining about this stuff, it was like, no, for him to get that contract, for him to be the player we think he is, he has to be able to score at all three levels. B.I. can score at all three levels. That's what got him paid. Now Lonzo has to be able to score at all three levels. And people act like the mid-range is a bad shot. The mid-range is definitely not a bad shot. It is a very good shot. It is a very good shot. It is a punishing shot. Why do you think Kevin Durant is good? It's not because of the three balls, because of the mid-range. So, Lonzo, when he's got people on him like DiVincenzo, 6'4", okay, just rise up and shoot. Now, wait till he's got Dame Lillard, Steph Curry, guards that are shorter than him, much shorter than him, 6'3", like Chris Paul. Just shoot it over him. And you got to pick now. Do you come out there and close out on Zoe, or do you let Zion get open, or Steven Adams get open? You think he can't throw the alley-oop? Like, the only players in the league that's going to be able to stop that is Giannis and AD, because they have the length to guard both effectively. And while we're speaking on Giannis didn't play this game. Giannis did not play this game. And that's huge. I initially had them built to lose this game, but without Giannis playing, that changes the entire landscape of this. The Pels, I ain't gonna lie, they look sloppy, and I think made some questionable decisions. But it was a decent game overall. Stan said their defense was bad, which it was, but it was better than it was last year. So I'll give them that much credit. The one thing that's gonna bother me is the free throws. The free throws are going to bother me. I can't remember what they finished the game. It was either like 14 or 26. It was something. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, the Bucks made, I think, all of theirs. They're like 19 or 19. Free throws are going to kill us this season. Everybody was missing free throws. That's not good. The free throw percentage of this team has to improve. Like, the free throws are going to kill us this season. There are going to be games we're going to lose because we're getting, like, Zion is getting the bulk of his his shots, at the free throw stripe, and he's missing, like, he's 6 of 9. Can't have that. Can't have that. JJ is going to hit his. B.I. should hit his, but B.I., everybody was missing free throws tonight. It was a group effort. You can't have that. That's an area of concern for me. But overall, the Pels looked solid. They had a monster lead on the Bucks, and then Chris Middleton just kind of cooked them. B.I. couldn't guard him. He got into foul trouble, so Josh Hart had to get out there. Josh Hart had to guard him, and Josh Hart got into foul trouble too. And after that, it was just kind of like, hey, we might have to put Zion on him, and we're going to put somebody else on him. But they kept, like, think about this. This is Chris Middleton. What do you think KD is going to do? What do you think LeBron is going to do? This is why we needed to invest in a forward or, of some sort that could guard, that had some rank, like some length and stuff to guard those kind of positions, because that's going to be an area of concern for us. And as we've seen, when B.I. goes down, all we have is Josh Hart. And if Josh Hart gets fouls, a lot of ticky-tack fouls, which they were given, that's going to be another area of concern for me. If they still giving out these ticky-tack fouls, you're gonna let the other team off the hook, and that's something Stan talked about at the end of the game. And I'm glad he mentioned that. I'm glad he didn't hold back. He was like, hey, look, the first quarter, they were excellent. After that, there was just too much other stuff going on, and it's not good basketball. And again, Giannis didn't play. This could have gotten worse, So I'm gonna give Lonzo and Zion their credit. They did well. They did excellently well. But for me to sit here and pretend like there aren't some issues from watching this game, I can't ignore that. They did well. We saw some things we definitely liked, but at the end of the day, it's like, we still have to clean up some things. So the regular season is their next game. They starts on the I think it's the 22nd and maybe the 23rd. But they only got a couple days, and then they play their first game, and that's against Toronto. So Toronto was our first game last year. That game's going to tell us a lot. We cannot have B.I. struggling this game. B.I. is going to have to be up on it. Again, Lonzo has taken that step into being like solidifying himself as that third core piece. Like, he was already that third core piece, but there are people who had question marks about him. If Lonzo is going to be giving us mid-range shots like this all year, and he's able to knock down and do his thing, Lonzo's going to challenge for an all-star spot. I'm going to be honest. Lonzo look like he could challenge for an all-star spot, because Lonzo will have the defense, he'll have the passing, he'll be able to rebound at a high level, and then he'll have, decent enough offensive numbers that he'll get consideration. But like I said, okay, here's the other part too. Like I told you guys in the other video I had, Lonzo took the second most shots on the team today. Bledsoe took 10, and JJ had like 9. But Lonzo took the second most shots on the team. Again, I prefer him to have 13 to 14. I think that's a good enough range. I know a lot of people disagree with me there, but here's my thing. There's going to be so many shots to go around, only so many. And even on the best teams, your third best player, if it's Lonzo, usually only takes about 13, 14, maybe 15 shots. Your two best players are going to get around 20 to 16 shots. So B.I. and Zion are getting those shots. Okay. Outside of that, there's limited shots to go around, because JJ is going to have to get his because he's such an elite three-point shooter. Bledsoe's going to have to get his because he's a good finisher at the rim. And by the way, his synergy with Lonzo was amazing. Excuse me. him shooting threes is a clear weakness, which is why I kind of prefer Nall. Nall didn't play this game, and Stan addressed that, saying that he normally would have played Nall in a situation where B.I. had got fouled out and Josh Hart was in foul trouble, but he was like they needed someone to match up with. I'm sorry, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. They needed someone to match up with Chris Middleton. So they went with Sindarius. But again, I would much rather have Nall in that starting lineup. I think his floor spacing and his offensive repertoire would help a lot more, but it is what it is. He didn't even play this game. Kira Lewis didn't play this game. And I knew with JJ and Bledsoe coming back, I knew Kira wasn't going to play. Nall was the one that surprised me, but at the same time, I know he was trying to keep his rotation, he being Stan, was trying to keep the rotation down to around 10, so I get it. And it was for matchup purposes, basically, who that other person was going to be that plays. But at this point, we know what the rotation is. It's the starters, Hart, JJ, probably going to be now going forward, Melly and Hayes. Those are your guys. And then the others will be like Kira and Willie Hernangomez are going to play based on matchup need or like foul trouble. That's basically what that's going to be. But I got to say, one more thing. When Lonzo goes out, this team, I think they got enough weapons to sustain. But there's going to be some games where I think Lonzo's overall skill set is going to be, very impactful. And you're going to see some games probably where if he gets into foul trouble, it's going to be like, dang, you're going to miss Lonzo on the court. And it was funny because once Lonzo had sat down, they started losing. So, Lonzo's effect is tangibly being felt. And that was one of the things I was watching, was how much is this team going to miss Lonzo. Lonzo's unique skill set cannot be replicated. So when he's not on the court, it's something. But, kudos to Stan for speaking well of Lonzo, encouraging Lonzo, and, giving him the keys. I know everybody was sitting there talking about how, he's supposed to be a wing, he gonna be a wing. Your point guard, he's not a wing. But I tell you this, at this rate, he could play like a wing if he really wanted to. But Lonzo gonna bring that ball up the court most of the time. Sometimes it'll be B.I. Zion, and that's okay. And by the way, let me go ahead and put this out. Lonzo does not have to bring the ball up the court every fucking time. It's okay. He can still initiate the offense off ball. He can come and get the ball in the half court after somebody else does and set the play. He does not have to bring the ball up every time, okay? It is cool. And he does not have to initiate the offense every time. It's cool. Especially for me wanting to keep him on the court as long as it is, I would like him to take some plays off of initiating the offense so that he can rest, and then that he can be on the court as long as possible because his effect is that great. Anyway, the Pels won that game. It was closer than it should have been because they were murdering them. It was 20-35 after the first quarter. At one point, they had a 20-point lead, and Chris Middleton just started cooking. So, but good teams are going to have, even without their best players, they're still going to put up a fight. And, we need to be wary of that going forward. Again, I still think teams with big front courts are going to be a problem for us. I don't think we would have won this game if they had Giannis. But it is what it is. So we'll see going forward. But, good game by Lonzo and Zion. B, I'm not worried about. They'll be ready. Bledsoe, excellent fit in terms of synergy next to Lonzo and the others. But we need to get him to be a better three-point shooter, or we're gonna have some issues. And outside of that, it's just the normal stuff. JJ is gonna be JJ. Hayes looks pretty good. We'll see what we get with him going forward. Haven't seen him enough for me to be able to actually critique him. But I will say this. He is learning to set proper picks by being in the presence of Steven Adams. So I'm encouraged to see that by Steven Adams because they're getting separation. And I'll say this, Steven Adams and Zion's picks today, in particular for Lonzo, was part of the reason for him to be able to get those mid-ranges because they would set those picks and he had enough time to look and examine the defense and take his time and get that jump shot off, you know. So that's kudos to them. I'm excited for this season, but I don't want to take the preseason as the gospel, so to speak, because they're going to get information on Lonzo. And for him to be making those mid-ranges like he looks to be a bit ahead of schedule, and I don't want to say that. I still want to give him his time. I want to give him time to get accustomed to all of the stuff that he was working on and learning. But if he starts off the season cooking like that, I'm going to tell y'all right now, the Pels are going to be right in the mix for a playoff spot, you know, against all the teams in the West. And Lonzo performing like he did last night bodes well for you when you have a bad night by Zion or B.I. he can carry, which is good. But, you know, if you got him, B.I., and Zion going off in the same game, you know, that's gonna be nice. But again, he's not gonna get to take, you know, the second or first most shots on the team every night because B.I. and Zion command most of the attention. And if B.I. had not been in foul trouble, them shots was gonna come from somewhere. They may have taken some shots from Lonzo, might have taken some shots from Bledsoe, might have taken some shots from JJ or, you know, Josh Hart, and some of the others, you know. But B.I. was going to get his. And he just signed that contract. They're going to make sure he gets his shots. So, you know, again, I want to see Lonzo perform, but I'm keeping myself level-headed because you got to understand, in the league, if you got two superstar level players, they get priority on the shots. It doesn't matter what team you go on. LeBron, AD, you're getting priority on the shots. Paul George and Kawhi are getting priority on the shots. Jamal Murray and Joker are getting priority on the shots. When it was Steph and Clay got priority on the shots. James Harden, whoever, CP3, Russ, they get priority on the shots. Bradley Beal and Russ are going to get priority on the shots. You know, those are the people that are going to take the most shots on the team. So, you know, I don't expect him to take the most shots this year. But as long as he's taking 13 to 14, excellent. Oh, one more thing before I forget with Lonzo. That one free throw Lonzo missed, it was the second free throw. He hit the first one. The second one, he rushed. Go back and look at it. You can tell he rushed. As long as he doesn't rush, he'll be fine. It was nice to see him get those free throw shots. And it was encouraging to see him hit 2 out of 3. We need to see him get to the line more. I think Gentry was absolutely right last year when he said he needed to take 5 free throws a game. So, you know, if he's taking 3, that's an improvement. We'll take that. But he needs to be getting to the charity stripe. There's no excuse for that. That's something I'm going to be on the lookout for this year. If he doesn't improve in getting to the line, then, you know, he's not drawing contact on the fouls. And then that's going to be a concern. But anyway, it's your boy. Peace.